that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birth?
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Tonight
it's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something about Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the. Ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gonna give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans. Yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they info. If it coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. This music don't work out. I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't try to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shopping. Can't trust him cause he not my. Cause we worried about getting figures.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Fall is in the air and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Off a play action, Tagovailoa out to his left. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Get set. Right 80. Right hot. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Kill. 11. 11. You got double up.
Burrow will throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Here we
Well,
go.
they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Hey, check Mike.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
12.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Gun. Right 80. Right hot. Mike 2. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And this returnable for Hill. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
Well, it certainly is because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win. I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Connor. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 2nd down and 4, Tua. And that'll be incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Tua now on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask, and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that. And they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. But obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Hands it off out of the gun. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dolphins post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie. The first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Back to Mixon on first down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Bengals at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. 11 MT,
Again, it's Mixon. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From midfield now, Burrow. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
11. 2, Mike, 2. He don't know no better. Mike, 2.
From the 31, Burrow goes right back to Smith again. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
11 mighty.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Burrow. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
First down picked up by T.Y. Hilton. Now in his 11th season, you have to wonder if we're seeing the finale of a decorated career. 4 Pro Bowls to his credit. He still believes he has a big year left in him.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
12. Check 3. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Burrow looking to pass. And that is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Good yard. After the catch, is that play good for 30 and a first? From midfield, here's Tua. They're going deep for Hill. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill, 50 yards. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Okay, ready?
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Tua, a final shot before half. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. This taken in at the goal line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And Burrow going to throw again. It's caught. Smith. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Third and 2, now Burrow. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. A little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. Bradley Chubb there on the tackle. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Choose the mic. Right here, right here. 11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Phillips, the former 1st rounder, getting in there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
11.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Mixon. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll give it here to Brown. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon.
11 MT. No. Watch safety creep. 11.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal.
12.
Mixon again. They'll fight for the end zone, but they will stop him again. Shy of the goal line.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
McPherson's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Finding space at the 40. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Tua going to throw. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Eluding, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
Certainly fair to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Going. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals force the turnover. And they'll take over at the 10. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right. And you're trying to limit the number of plays an offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 67 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Now, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Dolphins, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.